ॐ ॐ यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रणोति तस्मै तं देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। वेदांतार्थ विभासकाय गुरवे शांताय सन्यासिने नानावादी नगेन्द्र संगपवये योगीन्द्र वन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्त दिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। ब्रह्माहं यत्प्रसादेन मयि विश्वं प्रकल्पितं श्रीमत्स्वयं प्रकाशाख्यं प्रणौमि जगतां। यः परमात्मा जगत्सृष्ट्वा प्रविवेश पुनः स्वयं तं कृष्णं प्रत्यगात्मानं वन्दे गोपी मनोहरम्। यस्य प्रसादादहमद्वयात्मा विश्वं समस्तं मयि कल्पितं च तं सर्वलोकैकगुरुं सदाश्री स्वयं प्रकाशं गुरुमानतोऽस्मि। गुरूणां चरणां भोजं प्रणिपत्य निरन्तरं तत्कृपालेशतोऽद्वैत चिन्ताकौस्तुभमारभे। On page number 202 in the physical copy, and the third paragraph on that page, which is, have you all Nanu Shravanam Vidhiyate found?
Yes, Swami.
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay. Nanu Shravanam Vidhiyate Yuktam. Now, so far that you have said, you know, all Vartikar, Vigwan, and everybody has come, Vivaranakar, mostly Vivaranakara only. And over there, this is all vidhi. It is a vidhi to be followed, you have said. Nanu shravanam vidhiyate iti uktam. This has been said. Tat kim? What category is that? Kamyam uta nityam aho naimittikam prayaschittam va. Now, what kind of karma will that be? Because karma, vidhana is there for karma. Then then Shravanam also becomes some sort of a karma. If it is a karma, now you tell us what category will this karma belong to? Shravanam will belong to Kamya karma, Nitya karma, Naimittika karma, or Prayashchitta karma. Okay? Not Prayashchit, Prayashchitta. Some people even say that Ganpati Atharva Shirsh. Shirsh kya hota hai? Shirsh. It ends in akara. Say it that way. Don't make it fashionable. Fashionable means what? Ask our Delhi people. रामायण. संगीता, क्या किसका पारायण होता है?
रामायण.
रामायण, रामायण नहीं, रामायण. वैसे ही प्रायश्चित. So now you understand these four categories: the kamya karma, nitya karma, naimittika karma, or prayashchitta karma. What is prayashchitta karma? The action of atonement. Nadyaha. So now he says, it cannot be considered to be kamya karma. Why? Swarga kamo yajeta iti vidhi uddeshe alashravana. Now, when the vidhi has to be given, along the vidhi उद्देश्य करके तो फल का विधान किया जाता है। तो हाउ इज दैट फल नौ स्वर्ग कामो यजेत इत्यादिवत फलाश्रवणात् यू डोंट हियर एनीथिंग व्हाट श्रवणम फॉर व्हाट न च रात्रि सत्र न्याय न तत्कल्प्यमिति वाच्यम नाउ देयर इज सम रात्रि सत्र पूर्व मीमांसक in which now that we find the vidhi of Ratri Satra, but the phalam is not mentioned. So over there now they are going to say that in this case, how the phalam has to be associated with the vidhi is already there. Tadvat kalpyam, use that method. No vachyam. Why? Grahasthadinam brahmajnana kamanaya asambhavat. Because the grahasthas, etc., they do not have brahmajnana kamana. Pratyut brahmajnanat udvega darshanam. Grahasthadinam brahmajnana kamanaya asambhavat. Because what? They may have brahmajnana kamana, but that is not really the motive of life. What do they have is we want money, we want children, we want to see our children settled, so on and so forth can be the demand. So there can be हमारी इज्जत बनी रहनी चाहिए धर्म अर्थ काम is what is desired by them and therefore ब्रह्म मिल जाए तो मिल जाए by the way. So जो मिल जाए by the way that what is by the way cannot be considered to be a desire or forget being a principal desire. You see, and therefore grahasthadinam brahmajnana kamanaya asambhavat. But Swamiji, there are people, Yajnavalkya, don't forget that we have already seen that there is manasatyaga is also a type of vividisha
Sannyasa.
sannyas. So there are going to be people who have done the manasatyaga and therefore they are sannyasis, but those who are grihasthas. So now this fellow, because of some pratibandha, he has to continue in the grihastha life. But otherwise, he is what? Manasatyagi. He is actually also a sannyasi. Grahasthadinam brahmajnana kamanayaha sambhavat. Therefore, common people, you tell them, come and listen that Atma is Brahman. Sab theek hai, everything is okay. You tell us, are they telling how to resolve conflict between husband and wife? Vedanta sun ke ye milega kya? I remember during my college days, by then, because the principal also, our college principal knew my inclination and he knew that I like to listen to Vedanta and I'm chasing some Mahatma, then I go and sit for satsang with them. So then one day I was sitting with him and then he said, hey, why are you doing all these things? Because I used to go to his home very regularly. His son and myself, we were very good friends. So, so I was going over there not to meet his father, but for him. So then he said that you are doing all these things. What is the use of doing all this? Tomorrow, if in your house a tap breaks, will you be able to do the plumbing work? If some short circuit happens, will you be able to do the electrical work? Something of the instead of doing all this, do something that is useful in your real life. So those who they see that this is the Brahmajnanam, what will you get by knowing Atma is Brahman? Will you get a job? Will you get married? Will you get settled? Huh? So no, nothing. What is the use of this Atma is Brahman? Pratyat. Brahmajnana Udvega Darshanam. What happens to them is you tell them Brahmajnanam, they get Udvigna. It disturbs them. What is this useless thing? अतएव रागी गीतमपि श्लोकम उदाहरन्ति. And there is a Gita, there is a song of a ragi, means not ragi, no, in South India they eat ragi, nachni, not that. Ragi, the person who is with a lot of attachments and so on. So shlokam udaharanti. Api vrindavane shunne shrugalatvam sa ichhati natu nirvishayam moksham kadachidapi gautama. Now that Ragi says that he who that such a grahastha, what will he desire? He may desire to become a fox in an empty forest. Api vrindavane shunye viran. झाड़ी में अपि वृंदावने शून्य शृगालत्वं स इच्छति. He may desire to become a fox and live in that Viran place. What is Viran called? Empty. What is the English
Barren.
word? Anybody can suggest?
Barren. Barren.
Barren place. Yeah. Total barren place, just short shrubs and all that. Api vrindavane shunye shrugalatvam sa ichhati natu nirvishayam moksham kadachidapi Gautama. Hare Gautama. This fellow does not desire nirvishayam moksham, because in that moksha, what vishaya is there? No vishaya. Kincha vedan imam lokam amuncha parit लोकममुञ्च परित्यज्यात्मानम् अन्विच्छेद. इत लोकम् इत्यादि श्रुत्या साधन चतुष्टय संपन्नस्य जिज्ञासोः सन्न्यासिनः श्रवणादि कर्तव्यता गमनेन गृहस्थादीनां तत्र अनधिकारात्. Now he says, so now the Shruti tells you about this is for the sannyasis. Sadhana chatushtaya sampannasya jijnasoho sannyasina shravanadi kartavyata avagamane. Now what gamena avagamena? What have you understood? That the shravanadi kartavyata, that shravanam should be done. But for whom? So the one who is sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, jidnyasu, are desirous of knowing Brahman, and is a sannyasi. So for such a person, so you look at that, there are these, two extra, uh, 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 what do they call? Visheshanas. That's he is a sannyasi. That sannyasi is sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, and he is a jidnyasu. Because there can be Kutichaka and Bahudaka sannyasi also, but they are not jidnyasus. Okay? And therefore, Shravanadi kartavyata avagamena grahasthadinam tatra anadhikara. Just as that Stri Parigraha, etc., is a sannyasi adhikari in that. In Stri Parigraha is a sannyasi adhikari.
No, Swamiji.
Of course not. Just like that, because he does not have any desire for that. and he has given up the karma. So that's why he cannot be an adhikari. Like that, grihastha is not adhikari. Astu tarhi sannyasinam etat kamyam iti ched. Then let us call that this is the kamya karma for the sannyasi. Because the question raised is Shravanam. When Shravanam is the vidhi, then whether this vidhi is to be considered for the kamya karma, nitya karma, naimittika karma, or prayashchit karma. So now he is going to take up the first option and he is saying astu tarhi sannyasinam etat kamyam. Let this be considered to be the kamya karma for the sannyasi iti ched. Let then he says no, not this cannot be considered to be kamya karma of the sannyasis. Why should it not be considered as kamya? You are saying just because you are saying no, does that make it make sense? No, you will have to prove. So Shravanadi रहितस्य सन्यासिनः प्रत्यवायाभाव प्रसंगात् प्रत्यवाय अभाव. अच्छा, why इति चेत् न श्रवणादि श्रवणादि रहितस्य सन्यासिनः प्रत्यवायाभाव प्रसंगात्. Where is it taken? Ah, now this is the Purva Paksha, right? The Purva Paksha is saying, so because if a person, if that sannyasi does not do the Shravanam, then because he is not going to incur any pratyavaya dosha, and therefore, just as we all are able to understand that when a person does not do some kamya karma, that kamya karma, not doing of kamya karma, omission of kamya karma does not cause any pratyavaya. Okay? When is pratyavaya there? Only when the nitya naimittika karma is not performed, pratyavaya is there. But sannyasis do not have pratyavaya, you are saying? He has given up. So now, because he does not have pratyavaya, therefore, let us consider the Shravanam as Kamya Karma. You understand why he's saying that Shravanam should be considered as Kamya Karma? The Purva Pakshi,
Yes,
Sarita?
Swami.
Yes, Swamiji. Since it is causing no pratyavaya, so it is not nitya naimittika. That means it is kamya
And
karma.
sannyasis do not have
Yes.
pratyavaya.
Yes,
That's why
Swamiji.
this can be called as Kamya Karma.
Kamya.
Okay. न च इष्टापत्तिः अरुन्मुखान्यतिश्रादावकेभ्यो प्रायच्छम् नित्यं कर्म परित्यजेत् इत्यादि श्रुति स्मृति विरोध प्रसंगात् तस्मात् न श्रवणादिकं काम्यम्. Well, sir, this cannot be considered as ishtapatti, that he sannyasi does not have a pratyavaya. Why? There will be something like that because Arun Mukhan means those who are turned away from, their mukha is turned away from the Vedanta Shravana Manana. What happens to those yatis? So this Indra says, Shalavrikedhyaha prayacham. I give them to be what do they call, lynched by the wolves and jackals. Arun Mukhan Yatim. So just because you have taken to sannyas does not mean it is everything is done. Because still, if there is, if you do not do Shravana Mananam and Nididhyasanam, now the gati will be that will be like this. Arun Mukhan Yatim Shalavrikebhyaha Prayacham Nitya Karma Parityajed iti Shruti Smriti Virodha Prasangat Parityajya ityadi. So Parityajed nahi, Parityajya. इत्यादि श्रुति स्मृति विरोध प्रसंगात तस्मान न श्रवणादि काम्यम. Therefore, Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam cannot be considered to be kamyaka. All right. So the possibility of being called as, why was it called as kamya karma? Because he thought that there is no pratyavaya. Because sannyasis will not incur any pratyavaya. But on the other hand, we find a Shruti where forget Pratyavaya, look at that though, the phalam of dropping it, it is even more horrible than the just some Pratyavaya dosha. Okay? And therefore, there is phalam to it. And so it cannot be considered to be the phalam of omission is there. In Kamya Karma, if you don't do Kamya Karma, there is no papa of omission, dosha of omission. Over here, there is, and therefore it cannot be considered to be Kamya Karma. You have called it Vidhi, but now that Vidhi goes to apply it into Kamya, Nitya, Naimittika, or Prayashchitta is what we are trying to see. Nadviti. So remember this. Sannyas lekar ke agar Vedanta Shravanadi nahi kiya Nitya, तो उसका महादोष है. You could be doing everything right from that go seva to everything that you may be doing, but and to do go seva or to run an orphanage, you don't need to take to sannyas. If you have taken to sannyas, which means that Vedanta Shravanam is compulsory. It is not just a simple choice. हमको करना है तो करेंगे, टाइम मिला तो करेंगे. अरुन्मुखान् यतीन् शालावृकेभ्यः प्रायच्छम् न द्वितीयः अग्निहोत्रादिवत् श्रुत्या जीवनं निमित्तीकृत्य अविधानात् न तृतीयः गृहादिवत् निमित्ताश्रवणा गृहदाहादिवत् निमित्तश्रवणा न चरमः पापनिवृत्तिम् उद्देश्य अविधानात्. Okay. Now the first one was Kamya. Now what is the second one? Nitya. In Nitya Karma, now Agnihotra. Yavat Jivam Agnihotram Juhuyat. Now, why should Agnihotra be performed? You're going to ask this question. And over there, why should Agnihotra be performed or why should Sandhya be done? Because you are living. Because you are living. So what is the nimitta? What is the cause to do that Agnihotra or to do the Sandhya Upasana?
To be alive.
That you are alive. Okay. So when you are going to say that something is Nitya Karma, so what is the nimitta? Jivanam is the nimitta. Got it?
Yes,
Swami. Yes, Swami.
And therefore, now this condition makes it qualified to be called as Nitya Karma. ठीक है? अग्निहोत्रादिवत् श्रुत्या जीवनम nimitti kritya avidhanat. So Shravanam is not told just because you are alive, that's why do Shravanam. So why should it be therefore considered to be Nitya Karma? Got it? This is the Purva Paksha. So it cannot be called as Kamya Karma. It cannot be called as
Nitya karma.
Nitya Karma. Then Tritiyaha. Grahadahadivan Nimitta Shravanat. Now the third one is Naimittika Karma. In that somebody Agnihotri, and then the hut that he had kept, the Agnishala was made. That portion of the house where the Agnishala had caught fire. Now what should he do? They said that do your Agnihotra in that. Offer your oblation in that. Finished, done. But why are you offering it in the burning house? So does that mean that every time you have to do Agnihotra, you will have to burn a house?
No.
This is nimitta. That's why. Grihadahadivan nimitta shravanat. That's why it is not naimittika. That because now, like this, and that's why you do shravanam. Because now today you cannot walk. That's why I do shravanam. Because you cannot go to that Meenakshi temple. That's why I do shravanam. Is this the nimitta? Why shravanam should be done?
No.
So that's why it cannot be called as naimittika karma. No charamaha. Charamaha means, can it be called as prayaschitta karma? Papa nivritti muddishya avidhanat. Why is the karma of the action of atonement given? So that the wrong which was done before can be rectified. It is going to be atoned for, and therefore papa nivritti muddishya. There is prayaschitta. But you want to know Brahman or you want to do Shravanam, because by doing Shravanam, Papa Nivritti will take place. Is that what you are thinking?
No.
No, it's not right.
Is this the Vidhana? Is this the reason why the Shruti has told you Shrotavyaha, so that Papa
No.
Nivritti takes place?
No.
No. And therefore, even the fourth type of karma is ruled out. Tarati brahmahatyam yuvashvamedhena yajate yavu chainam evam veda ityadivat tasya ashravanat. Because there are certain, like the Ashwamedha Yajna, he who does, he atones for the Brahmahatya, Pataka, etc. Is it said anywhere in the Veda that you will overcome all these Patakas by knowing Brahman? And that's why you should know Brahman in order to overcome these Patakas? No. Tasya ashravanat. Tasmat Shravanadi Vidhanam Anupannam. That's why to say that Shravanam is a vidhi becomes anupapanna. It is not logically proven. Anupapannam iti ashankya. This is the kind of question now. Tasya nityatva kamyatvayoho sambhavad vidhi upapadyate iti abhipretya ahatacheti. Now, when this is the Purva Paksha, that is Prapta Purva Paksha, now that's why we are going to say that. So this is the background why we are going to tell you that it can be considered to be Nitya Karma as well as Kamya Karma. Shravanam can be considered to be Nitya Karma as well as
Kamya karma.
Kamya Karma. But why are you telling us it can be considered? Because the Purva Paksha already has said that there is no possibility of it being called as Nitya or Kamya. or naimittika or even prayashchitta. And therefore now we have to tell you that it can be categorized as nitya karma and kamya karma. And how does that topic begin? Tacha in the Moola Grantha. Tacha Shravanam. Tacha Shravanam means this Shravanam which is told as Shrotavyaha. By that विधि तव्य प्रत्यय के साथ हमको जो मिल रहा है श्रवण वह ठीक है चक्रेश
जी स्वामी।
हाँ आनंद so far so good okay तच्च श्रवणम संन्यासिनाम नित्यम. So therefore, how is this Shravanam? It is a Nitya karma for the sannyasis. Yatha Chaturnama ashramanam upakurvanasya brahmacharinaha kamyatvepi grahasthashramam praptasya akarane pratyavaya shravanat जीवनम निमित्तीकृत्य विधानाच्च अग्निहोत्र सोमयाग संध्यावंदनादि नित्यम एवं स्वीकृत संन्यासाश्रमस्य परमहंसस्य विविधिशोरपि श्रवणादि नित्यम यथा चतुर्णामाश्रमाणाम् उपकुर्वाणस्य ब्रह्मचारिणः. हाँ गृहस्थाश्रम प्राप्तस्य अकरणे प्रत्यवाय श्रवणा. So when can something be called as a nitya karma? That when that vidhi is prapt and not doing that vidhi brings the papa, the dosha of pratyavaya. And when it brings the dosha of pratyavaya, it is called as nitya karma. Correct? When by if that is due to the act of omission, if that act of omission brings some sort of a defect, dosha, papa, then it will be called as
Nitya karma.
nitya karma.
नित्य
What is the criteria to determine something as nitya?
pratyavaya
It-
omitted
Yes,
pratyavaya
not
dosh
doing
is there.
it brings pratyavaya. When not doing it brings pratyavaya, it is called as the nitya karma. ठीक है?
Yes.
Okay. So he has given that example of this brahmachari taking chitigrastha. हाँ. निमित्तीकृत्य हाँ विधानाच्च जीवनम निमित्तीकृत्य विधानाच्च अग्निहोत्र सोमयाग संध्यावंदनादि नित्यम. So now you understand grahasthas. This संध्यावंदनम is नित्य कर्म. It is not just choice. हमको जिस दिन अच्छा लगे हम करेंगे. नहीं करते हो तो दोष लगता. प्रत्यवाय दोष नित्यम evam thus. Now if you have understood how pratyavaya dosha, how to determine something as nitya karma, now he says evam svikrita sannyasa ashramasya. So the one who has taken to the sannyasa ashrama paramahamsasya. Now look again, that svikrita sannyasa ashrama means we are not talking about kuticaka and
मा-
बहुधा
बहुत
ये आश्रम रूप संन्यास है संजय, आश्रम रूप संन्यास है.
हाँ कुटीचका and बहुदक.
बहुत
एवं स्वीकृत संन्यासाश्रमस्य Paramahamsasya. Now this is we are talking about Paramahamsa sannyasi. Vividisho. Oh, and how is he? Vividishu. Okay, Vividisho api Shravanadi nityam. Shravanadi is Shravana Manana Nidhyasanam is Nitya Karma, which means not doing it will bring
Dosha.
Dosha.
Pratyavaya.
dosha. Pratyavaya dosha. How? Arun Mukhan.
Yatim Shala Bhaktevya Prayach.
कहाँ गए हम? अरुन्मुखान् यतीं शालावृकेभ्यः प्रायच्छम् श्रवणायापि बहुभिर्यो न लभ्यः नित्यं कर्म परित्यज्य वेदान्तश्रवणं विना इत्यादि श्रुतिस्मृतिषु सन्न्यासिनां श्रवणादि अकरणे प्रत्यवाय श्रवणा. Now there are shrutis and also smritis which come forward as the pramanas for us to know that those sannyasis who do not do, which sannyasis? Paramahamsa, Vividishu.
Hmm.
So which sannyasis? In the sannyasis also the Paramahamsa sannyasi. In the Paramahamsa sannyasi also which sannyasi?
Vividishu sannyas.
Vividishu sannyasi. Because for the Paramahamsa Vidvat sannyasi, now what is main? He can do Shravanam, he will do some Parayanam, etc. of the Upanishad. But what is main for him? Samadhi Abhyas. You remember, na? Okay? चक्रेश ठीक है ना? सुनाई नहीं देता तुम हाँ ना क्या?
जी स्वामी जी.
हाँ, गुड. आनंद तुमको सुनाई दे रहा है क्या?
ये स्वामी जी सुनाई दे रहा है स्वामी जी.
अच्छा. Now look at these vakyas. They are very, very interesting vakyas. Okay. Now, here we come across this Vakya of the Indra. In this Kaushitaki Upanishad, this Indra says that those sannyasis who do not do the Vedanta Vichara, who do not do Shravana Manana Nidhyasanam, I kill them. Means any which way this fellow is going to die. But what happens? That even their bodies are also not, are totally disrespected. And it is eaten by the jackals and wolves and jackals like that, dogs and jackals and like that. So you come across this statement. Yatin shalavrakebhya prayacham. Then nityam karma parityajya vedanta shravanam vina ityadi shruti smrutishu sannyasinam Shravanadi akarane pratyavaya shravana. So, like that, we come across various statements from the Smritis also, where the person, it is told that the person falls from the grace by not doing Shravana Manana. Which person? No, not general person.
Vividisha sannyasu. Vividishu.
Paramahamsa sannyasi, that also is Vividishu sannyasi. Okay. इत्यादि स्मृतिषु जीवनं निमित्तीकृत्य श्रवणादि विधानाच्च श्रवणादि नित्यम्. Now here it goes that just as the Sandhyavandanam etc. is given to you, then your question is, why should I do Sandhyavandanam? What will I get? Hey, what will I get is not the question here. What will I get will be answered if it was Kamya Karma. But this is Nitya Karma, and what is the nimitta for the Nitya Karma over here?
Jivanam.
Jivanam. The very fact that you are alive, you should be doing it. Which means the day you are dead, then the Sandhya, not doing Sandhya is okay. But as long as you are alive, Sandhya has to be done. So, Jivanam Nimitti Kritya. So, also the sannyasi, hey, but why should I do Shravana Mananam? Because you are alive. That's it. Where do you find that? Asukte Ityadi Smritishu. There is a Smriti which says like that. What is that Smriti? Is it given here? Yeah.
It's in Amula Grantha.
Here. Iti akarane. Nitya karma parityajya. Now look at that. Go to the Mool Grantha. 203. Nityam karma parityajya Vedanta shravanam vina Vartamanastu sannyasi patatyeva na samshayaha. So that sannyasi will fall. He will go to gutters if he does not do, who lives without Shravana Mananam Nididhyasanam. Vedanta Shravanam Vina. So Shravanam is Mukhya Angi. That's why over here. Patatyeva na samshaya. There is no samshaya about it. Iti akarane pratyavaya shravana. Because, and that's why, so thus, not doing it means it is an act of omission. And that act of omission brings what? It brings pratyavaya. So therefore, since we are able to understand that by not doing Shravanam, there is a pratyavaya Shravanat, we are able to say that it is Nitya Karma. But for Nitya Karma, there is one more thing that you will require. What is it? That Jivanam should be the Nimitta. Correct? Why are you doing this Nitya Karma? Because you are alive. क्यों करते हो? क्योंकि जिंदा हो इसीलिए संध्या क्यों करनी चाहिए? क्यों? माइंड वाइंड नहीं, जिंदा हो इसीलिए संध्या करनी चाहिए. जीवन निमित्त है वहां पे, दूसरा कोई निमित्त नहीं है. ठीक है ना? ये बात समझ में आई अभी तक? You got it?
Yes, yes.
Then therefore, now even for a sannyasi, that Shravana etc. should be done, then that Jivanam should be nimitta, then only you can call it Nitya Karma.
Yes.
Yes.
So over here, Asutteramrite kalam nayed vedanta chintaya iti smritya yavajivam agnihotram juhuyat ityadi shrutya जीवनम निमित्तीकृत्य अग्निहोत्रादि विधानवत् जीवनम निमित्तीकृत्य श्रवणादि विधानात्. Got it? So now here somebody is going to say, but till when should we and how, when till when is this to be done? Shravanam should be done
Till death. Or till knowledge happens. Or till death.
Well, look at that. Jivanam is the nimitta.
Yeah.
Till knowledge happens and then after don't do is not a thing. So this Smriti says, Asutera amrite kalam. Till when? Till you go to sleep or till you die. So what is the nimitta for doing now? Doing so till you die means that it has, because you are alive, you have to do it. And the second one, asukte hai, because you are awake, you have to do it. Which means now for the sannyasi, Do you see any gap? आज का तो श्रवण मनन हमने कर लिया, अब हम दूसरा कुछ करेंगे, ऐसे चल सकता है सन्यासी के लिए?
सतत चाहिए.
And that's why it is saying that asutera amrite kalam. How should that kala be spent? Nayed Vedanta Chintaya, till you go to sleep or till you die. There is this, that how should that time be spent, utilized? It is saying Nayed Vedanta Chintaya, Vedanta Chintan से ही उसको निकालना चाहिए. Iti Smritya. Now this is the Smriti. So now through this Smriti we understand, just as there is a Shruti which now makes Agnihotra as the Nitya Karma. What is the how the Shruti makes this Agnihotra as the Nitya Karma? What is the Nimitta?
Jivan.
Jivanam. So Yava Jivam Agnihotram Juhuya, this is it. Ityadi Shrutya, this is the Shruti. Jivanam Nimitti Kritya Agnihotradi Vidhanavat. Now exactly like that. Jivanam Nimitti Kritya Shravanadi Vidhanat. We find that Jivanam is made as the nimitta, as the reason why Shravanam should be done by him. By him means whom?
Sannyas.
And therefore, for the sannyasi, what is it? Shravanadi is what?
Nitya karma.
Nitya karma.
Nityam. It is Nitya karma. Okay? So now we have understood that Shravanadi is Nitya karma for him. Now for Grihasthas, we are going to see, can it be called, those who are like you people are listening to it, can it be called as Nitya Karma for you? कोई बात नहीं, हमने तो संध्या नहीं की, तो कोई बात नहीं, हमने श्रवण कर लिया वेदांत, चलेगा क्या ये? Is it a replacement for you?
No.
No.
Because for you, for the Grihastha, we are going to see that Vedanta Shravanam becomes Kamya Karma. Okay? How is that? Let us see when we meet tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Ashtami. So we will have those who have, taken up the Yajmanship for the, I will talk about it. Let us do the, what do they call it? Shanti Part. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamidachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyatau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Muktibheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Daktaye Namaha. All right.
Swamiji, sorry, one question.
Well,
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, Swamiji?
okay.
ये जो we have said, we just stated कि सन्यासी लोगों को प्रत्यवाय नहीं होता. Then how is it? That is what has been told here by him.